JackyOh's dad finds out DC young fly rushed to the hospital, paid $95K to find out what happened. Watch this whole video and subscribe to the channel. So they found out when JackyOh went to Miami and the day before she went to the surgery center that they were hanging out with friends. She had 2 people with her and everything, but her friends never even looked up or found out about how they had the 1-star review at the place that JackyOh was going to go and get the makeover from. If they would have known, or they should have known, to look it up and not trust it, so that they would go with Jackie to make sure that everything was going to be okay. A lot of people are saying in the comments that you should have 3 to 5 people with you whenever you're going to get an operation or anything like that. And most of the times, the doctor is supposed to be the one that comes and checks back up on you. And they're supposed to tell you the whole list of remedies and everything you're supposed to do to basically fully recover and everything like that. You would think that they would actually have, since they were doing the promo with JackyOh, you would think that they would have let her get recovered and everything before they released her. And so maybe they knew that they must have had some type of mistake or something that ended up where they had to let her go early. A lot of people are looking at it like they're in the medical industry. I talked to a lot of doctors and they're saying that basically that they should not have let her go out the place that quick, and that they should have ran some tests and some other things and checked vitals and everything, because you got to understand, with the technology and the machines that all these hospitals, all these surgery operation places have, they should be able to detect the exact amount of water levels and hydration, so that if JackyOh didn't have enough of that they would have got it to her before they left. That's the reason why they even have IVs in the first place. If you really know what this was going on like there, they should have put the drip IV, so that way she would have got all the water back that she lost. You got to imagine, in Miami, it's hot. She was probably sweating and nervous and everything like that because of the fact that she had to go underneath the knife and on the table. So you got to think that, okay, during that whole time, they might not have had the air conditioning running, because, you know, it can't be too cold or something like that. It has to be room temperature. So she could have sweated and sweated out all of that electrolytes and water, to where they should have replenished it. And the doctor and everything, they should know that. But they plastic surgeons. Plastic surgeons are not real doctors, guys. They're not the same. The doctor that you get if you was to go into the trauma center is different than the doctor you get when you go to get a BBL. And that's just plain simple facts, man. The doctor that do BBLs is probably the equivalent to the knowledge of a school nurse, except the fact that they know how to sculpt, and they basically got the art degree to make things look cool and look nice. But then the thing is that they might not be fully knowledgeable in the actual stuff to recover and the really important things after you make people look good or whatever, right? So what y'all gotta understand is that it's different levels to this. They would not have gave the 1-star rating doctor that worked on JackyOh, which is DC Young Fly's wife. DC Young Fly was wondering how that dude even, like, they let him even do that without the board license and everything like that. But it's a finesse. If you really know what's going on, you would know that if they open up the plastic surgery place, they don't have to have the certain type of licenses, because it's not considered the ER. And since it's not considered the ER or the hospital, then basically they could get away with doing things their own way and everything, like their own practice and all that stuff. It's just like how people go to the nowadays, people start going to these chiropractors who be snapping their back and cracking it and making all these noises and putting it on Instagram and everything like that, because it look cool. But that might not be the best exact thing unless you know somebody who is an expert at adjustments and stuff like that. And so it's the same situation. The BBL doctors are way they not as good as the regular doctors who be in places where people get popped and they're fixing, like they're bringing people back to life and everything like that. So there's levels to the game. The 5-star at a 5-star rating doctor, that should have been the one that DC Young Fly and JackyOh should have went to. They shouldn't have even got the free promo. If they would have just paid for the regular 5-star 10 out of 10 rating person, then maybe that she would still be around, because they would have had a better actual experience. Maybe they were longer. You got to understand, the Dr. Zach guy, he looked kind of in the younger side of things. So how long has he actually been doing all that is what people are asking, because they want to know exactly what happened to JackyOh, man. And I want to send my condolences to JackyOh and DC Young Fly. If you actually rocking with JackyOh, if you want to get justice for JackyOh, leave a comment JackyOh, comment Queen Jackie, Jacqueline, everything like that, because we really trying to figure out what happened to her, because a lot of stuff is not adding up. A lot of stuff does not make sense. There's no reason that she went there alone when she was with people the day before. She was with people earlier that morning. The fact that she went there alone and then came back to the hotel place alone is just sketchy, because we don't see none of the camera footage showing any of the proof of that. And so until they actually release the surveillance and the camera footage showing the actual moving around and her whereabouts of that whole entire weekend, that's when we're going to start to actually believe it for what it is, because of the fact that we'll be able to see if she was alone or not, and if she did come with people or not. Because you gotta understand, they were trying to say that it wasn't even her sister that was with her, and that's her friend and everything. And so it's like, what kind of friend leaves another friend alone in a time of need where they're actually like getting a whole operation done at a 1-star place, man? That's like a bad move right there. If it was anybody else, most good friends, they would wait in the car at least. They would wait outside just to make sure, or they would stay by the phone and be there waiting until she calls or something happens, man. And the fact that the people didn't even sit in the lobby and wait for JackyOh, they definitely was not her true friends, man. Because I don't know what happened with JackyOh's like actual better friends. Maybe they were not able to go to Miami with her. DC Young Fly couldn't get time off. Nick Cannon told him that he really needs him to go on that comedy tour with Carlos Miller and them and Chico Bean. And so Carlos Miller and Chico Bean, they can't just do the show by themselves, because DC Young Fly is the biggest talent between all three of them groups. And that's why DC Young Fly couldn't take the day off of work to come down with JackyOh to be right there by her bedside and holding her hand while the Dr. Zach guy's there. If DC Young Fly would have been there, then they would have made sure that they did every single step properly, because it would have been a whole man sitting there and watching them like step by step doing what they do. And if they made a mistake or if they skipped something, then he would have called them out for it. But the fact that none of JackyOh's friends was there, DC Young Fly wasn't there, the dad wasn't there, and nothing like that, there was nobody there to actually put pressure on the doctor place and the plastic surgery people to make sure that they was doing the correct job. Because most of the time, if you go in with your friends and family, then the doctor people and whatever business it really is, they're going to be like, okay, yeah, you know what? They came with other people. So if we screw them over, there's witnesses, there's people that came with them. There's going to be, the word is going to get out, and they're going to go from like a 1-star review to a 0-star review. So the thing is that since she didn't come with anybody, then they knew that they could quickly get this done and everything. Like I was trying to tell y'all, man, you know how a lot of people, they be trying to stretch things, cut corners and whatever, right? Especially when they got a 1-star review and they're supposed to be doing a free promotion and everything like that. When something is free, that's when they actually are trying. It's like leftovers. It's like stuff that fell out the back of the truck. It's clearance stuff, it's on sale because it might be expired. So what they tried to do was the equivalent of having an almost empty bottle of soap and then filling it up with water and shaking it up to get more soap. It's like a finesse. They're trying to stretch it out so that way they don't have to spend too much of their own money to cover the supplies and everything from doing the makeover for her, because it was the promotion. And so they were like, hey, if we are able to do her makeover, but we don't spend a lot and we try to reuse this and that, right? Allegedly, you got to understand, this is the scenario. If they try to reuse this and that, then they're like, okay, then whatever that promo was worth, we got it for the low. We got it for the low because we gonna, do this and reuse this and stretch this and all that. And then JackyOh is still gonna do the full shout out and still do the full post. So they're thinking that they're like, whatever the BBL's worth, they're gonna try to get discounts and find ways to save money so they can spend half of what the BBL would cost them. Because it's a price that they gotta pay for all the fluids and just like how you go to get your oil changed or you get your car worked on and they charge you for shop supplies and the little lubrication and the oil to put it on your O-ring and all that stuff. So what you got to understand is that they're using the same tactic as these shady body shops in places like that, where basically they're trying to find ways to cut corners, and they can use a half an empty bottle of this when they should have been using a freshly one with the seal. Because anytime you go to a place, people want to see you crack the seal. If you can't crack the seal in front of me, if you can't crack the seal in front of the customers or in front of the clients or whatever, then you should never go to that place, man. JackyOh, the place that she went to, they should have had everything sealed up and untampered with, so that way whatever they was using for her operation and her procedure, that everything was brand new and never had been used before. And that way even you would avoid anything that would come from making that mistake and everything like that. Because a lot of times people have to sterilize, even the barbershop has to sterilize the clippers and everything. So you got to understand, there's a lot of things that this place has to have perfect in order for them to get the procedure done. So what's the reason why they have a 1-star review? Is most likely because they're not doing these things to keep everything in order. You know what I mean? Like the people that gave them the 1-star review, it's not just one person who came and had a certain problem or whatever and it didn't go well. Out of thousands of reviews, you have to have hundreds and multiple people give a 0 star, and a couple people gave a 2-star. That's why I ended up meeting in the middle at 1 star. So it's not just like a one person's thing or whatever. This is like throughout the time they've been open, they've had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people not fully satisfied, give them a 0-star rating. Things happened to them. They almost got taken out allegedly and everything like that. And so this should have been noticed. This should have been put in a sign in front of the place so that everybody knows what they're getting into when they walk into this place. And the fact that all it took was just, if JackyOh didn't look it up and realize it, then DC Young Fly could have looked it up and realized it. But he didn't go with her. He was too busy. And the friends that went with her, they should have been able to look it up and realize it too. But they also left her hanging, man. And so this is the situation that's got all of us thinking, like, what really happened to JackyOh? Did she get left hanging by her friends? Did the place mess up that she was having the procedure at and cut corners? We're really trying to figure that out, man. So it's justice for JackyOh. Subscribe to the channel.